Yes, when I was in Afghanistan, we all bought burqas, partly to be able to go out in the street when we wanted to go without our minder or by ourselves or just um, and it's a weird experience. I mean, I wrote about this for I think for Latina magazine, where when I first got to Afghanistan, it was hot. And, you know, you have to wear all of these things. We didn't have to wear the burqa, but we did have to cover ourselves pretty well. Um, and it was heavy, and we we kind of we were annoyed by it. But by the end of the trip, it was just a 10-day trip. I came down to at the guest house. I came down to have breakfast, you know, dressed like this. This is how I usually dress. And I passed myself in a mirror, and I said, I can't go down naked to breakfast. And I put everything back on. And so there's a couple of things that happen when you wear a burqa for a long time. One is there's a wonderful sense of anonymity, right? Where nobody's really looking at you. There's no cat calls. There's no I mean, you're pretty much anonymous as you're going through the street. It's very hard to see in them. So there were, I remember somebody writing about how many women were being struck by cars in Afghanistan because you don't really have peripheral vision in them. Um, but I did get to see that once you wear them long enough, uh, your sense of what's acceptable in public really starts to shift. And so I was not surprised when shortly after the Taliban were deposed, temporarily, as it turned out, after the US invasion, that women were still clinging to their burqas, even though they were no longer required to. But I understand it because it's, we here in the West do not go to work in our bathing suits, which are perfectly acceptable at the beach, right? And so you internalize a lot of these clothing codes. And that certainly happened to me in just 10 days of working there.